Hello and welcome to this special edition video. I am here in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, and I thought I'd do a nice walkthrough of the tropical gardens at the hotel which I'm staying in, which is Melia Punta Cana Beach, which is an adult only hotel, but they are very well known for their amazing tropical gardens. It's about 30 degrees Celsius here at the moment, and the humidity is extremely high. But what I will do is I will walk you through the extensive grounds, and we will pick out a few amazing palm trees which are littered around the whole site, as well as some other tropical plants which I may be able to identify. So, starting at the very front of the hotel, we have an amazing agave Americana, which is absolutely beautiful. Huge specimen, but obviously the weather helps here a lot. No frost here in the tropics. One of my favourite palms in the background here, which is the Bismarck palm. There's a few more of these I will show you around the site. Not as many as some other palms, but there's definitely a few of them on this site. So this is the main sort of reception area. So when you arrive at the hotel, this is what you're greeted with. And even in the car park, there's palm trees literally everywhere. The amazing coconut palm, of which there is a lot here, especially on the beach area, which we're basically going to walk from the main lobby area to the actual beach through the gardens, and it's about a 15-20 minute walk, but obviously slower, with pointing out a few specimens along the way. So actually at the side of the lobby there is various little shallow ponds, and you can see in the background lots of tropical plants, some classics there which some of you may recognise. I think that's an alocasia over there in the background. So here we are still in the lobby area around one of the many little shallow pools. I'm pretty sure that is a type of yucca, variegated yucca in the distance, rather than an agave, but it might be, I'm not 100% sure. I've been using a PlantNet app whilst I'm here to identify some of the plants and trees, just so that I can kind of more or less guarantee that those are the particular plants that I think they are. There's lots of these nice egg chairs around here as well. You see down here there's quite nice ground cover. I'm sure I have one of those plants in my greenhouse at home. So you can see even in the middle of this area, it's like a mini roundabout. And even in the middle here, you've got some amazing Phoenix rubellinis, which I bought one recently as a house plant from Gardening Express. But here they are, growing in the wild, kind of. Really is some amazing specimens here. Absolutely huge palm trees. So as we walk, this is near one of the restaurants. And yeah, as you walk along here, there's more of these Phoenix rubellinis. There's also, these are Christmas palms, which have got lovely, smooth grey trunks on them, nice and thin, leading up to well, the leaves come off. There's like a green section which is just over a foot long, which is how you can identify these. And although this one at the moment isn't, well, it is producing seed on there, they've not gone bright red, which they will do. And that's why they are known as the Christmas palm. This palm tree here is bottle palm. You can see the base of it is like a huge bottle. And they've got really cool, amazing leaves. Lovely and glossy, and actually quite thick. And you can see the central spear, which is really cool. Got this nice pink tone to it. So as we move around this area, this is one of the large kind of ponds up in this top section of the hotel, which is where a lot of the villas are. And these villas are basically where all your rooms are in there for guests. And then you've got these spaces which are occupied by kind of like ducks and other pond life and things. I was really surprised actually down here, just by the water, we have a Washingtonia robusta growing. I was like, I recognise those leaves with the pieces sort of hanging off them as they do. So yeah, these ones are quite small, but they will get huge eventually. You can see in the background there a white bird, which looks a little bit like a heron. I think there's another Washingtonia robusta over here, which is a bit bigger. You can kind of really tell with these particular palms because they've got the real sort of bright brown trunk to them, and then they're also known as cotton palm. So they have these sort of off the side of the leaves, they've got all these bits that sort of hang off them, which I guess look a little bit like cotton on there. But yeah, this is a really good specimen here, right in the middle of this island, which is a bit random. So I'll just pan around so you can see a little bit more. Up towards the restaurant. There's lots of really nice flowers here as well. I'm not sure what these are. But obviously very bright red, which is really good. There's that bird flying. So yeah, let's continue with our walk. I noticed there's quite a lot of, there's probably about 10 different palms here, which are sort of repeat planted everywhere. And it's interesting to see also how they planted this, and where they've put like their flower beds, where they've positioned things. So yeah, this is the main walkway, the main driveway that goes right through the middle of the resort. I must admit, it's very Jurassic Park. So over here we have a sable palm. It's got that sort of cross hatching around the base of the, well, around the trunk, which is very different to, say, that palm next door, which is the Chinese fan palm. You see it's got quite similar leaves to it. So they're the fan-shaped leaves. But obviously on this particular palm, the trunk is incredibly, well, it's a lot smoother on there. Well, this one really reminds me of my Batia at home. It's got that kind of, you know, where the old fronds have been cut off, that old sort of textured look. Let's just pan up here, you can see a beautiful leaf. on there. Absolutely huge. I'd say it's probably about 5 foot long, that leaf. It's massive. You see a lot of these palm trees are planted in threes, and they actually uplight them as well, which I think is a great thing to do with palms because they're so architectural that they look really good when they're uplit, especially with the really warm light. That really helps with them. So over here we've got a kind of juvenile coconut palm over here with a massive coconut palm behind it. So again, things planted in threes mainly, or twos. Some of the trees here as well, they have these hug me signs on them, which is quite nice. Another beautiful palm, lots of seed hanging off it. You can see the texture of it. It's amazing. It's like, makes a nice noise as well. So you can really see here that the hotel grounds are very much, it's like being in the middle of a botanical garden. In fact, we were walking through here a couple of nights ago, and there was this huge bat flew down, way bigger than the bats we have at home. Probably 1.5 foot, 2 foot across. Decent kind of wingspan on it. We'll try and not miss anything too important plant wise as we walk down here. It's really easy to just like miss specimens that are kind of tucked away. You can see again in the middle of the shot there more Phoenix rubellinis, which don't get absolutely huge, and they look really nice with that soft foliage on there. So it'd be really good to see those growing here. Now this I'm pretty sure is an agave, because you can see all the spikes on the leaf, and but it's got that kind of yucca look about it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a variegated agave. I'm not sure which variety. There's always little social spaces as well, which the hotel has. Little kind of shady spots that you can sit under. We're going to walk up towards, just down here, they have their own like little, what we would call in the UK is like a vegetable garden. There's a few herbs over here, and there's some bananas which I checked out earlier on, which is pretty cool. It's really hard actually to get on camera the scale of these plants. I should just mention as well that just down here there is actually a kind of stone circle that you can kind of walk around. So yeah, look at these. Amazing. A few coconuts hanging off of these ones. They are big specimens. So this is their kind of vegetable garden, and it is surrounded by bananas. So you can see real decent bananas. What's quite interesting is obviously back in the UK we grow a lot of the Musa Baju banana, which although it doesn't fruit very well, when it does it kind of dies right back. But when you look at the stems and everything, you realise that actually, you know, the visual look of them is the same really. It's just the fact of the banana production. And this one over here has a flower on it. So yeah, there's all kinds of interesting things in here. So we've got traditional mint, which not growing amazingly well at the moment. You've got lemongrass. Oh, most things in here are labelled, by the way, which is useful. And we've got this aloe here, which is really cool. Basil. And this is interesting, type of tarragon. It's got a really thick leaf to it. It does smell amazing though. And oregano. Tiny little leaves. Yeah, so if we walk back out this way, past the banana flowers. Still find it weird how these bananas actually grow. It's just spitting with rain at the moment to really add to the humidity. So I'd say that obviously palm tree wise, clearly the coconut palm, I think it's Cocos nuissima or something like that. That's the most abundant palm tree here. And as we head towards the beach, we will see quite a few of them. Now there's a palm here I want to point out. So we've got over here is obviously the classic coconut palm, but over here you have, this is the royal palm. You can kind of tell the difference because of the huge trunk on it compared to the other one. Yeah, it's got this massively thick trunk to it. And I think this variety is the Caribbean royal palm. Seeing that we're in the Caribbean, it seems most likely. Just want to point out this plant that's growing on the side of this royal palm here, this vine. So that's pretty cool. So that's growing up there. That's back towards the vegetable garden and that. Actually, this shows it really well because I was talking earlier about the Christmas palm. You can see here the red seeds on there. It's pretty cool. And over here we have another one of the Bismarck palms with its huge kind of bluey green leaves on there. Let's just have a look. There's loads of seeds on the floor. So I'll try and open one up so you can see. No, there's not much in that one. They're kind of like, there's a good example. So they're sort of like an acorn, really. Try and get that into focus. So it's like an acorn. And you can see up there, loads of them. So as we continue down the main drive, you'll see the way they've planted things in quite a formal way. So you've got these circles of gravel, and then they're obviously putting sort of like specimen plants, I guess, in there. The gravel really kind of highlights the plant quite well. See, it's quite cloudy today, but there is still sunshine around. The weather here changes very, very quickly. So it can be hot and quite sunny during the morning, and then we had the afternoon a couple of days ago. The afternoon is absolutely torrential rain. Interesting plants along here. So this palm here is, I haven't got the Latin name written down here at the moment, but it's known as the butterfly palm or the bamboo palm. And you can see the way it grows on there. It's like a bamboo cane. Don't know if it grows particularly quick or anything. So we're heading down now towards, there's like another roundabout, which is the second section of sort of villas, which is where we're kind of staying on there. And again, you're surrounded by the tropical gardens. Just coming up on the left here is another one of the Bismarck palms. This one, I would say, there's two planted here. So these are probably the nicest two that I've seen. They're right near this sort of social space. Wow, so there we go. Really nice, clean examples. So yeah, there is actually some more up here. So planting wise here, you can see they put the planting in as like island beds, and then they've put this flower, obviously some sort of ground cover. Here you can really see the contrast with the Bismarck palm leaves there. You've got coconut palm up there with a royal palm next to it. So you can see the growth habit. If I put that in the centre of the shot there, one on the right being the royal palm, it's got thicker kind of leaves and more, definitely darker in colour on there, with a very thick trunk compared to the coconut palm. I love the way that when you look at the sky, the palms all pop against it with all the foliage. Try not to get run over by the electric vehicles. Just coming up to a map of the resort, which will be quite interesting to show you guys. So we started off over at this side with a big W. We then walked past these ponds in the centre of the picture, down through the gardens, which you can see the stone circle on there, and then you've got various swimming pools and accommodation. So we are in accommodation at number 3 down here, so we're fairly near the main pool and the beach, and you can see there on the map where north is. So yeah, our seashore basically faces out to the east. Amazing specimens around here. There's actually a hotel being built at the back of them. I think they do a nice job here with the landscaping, because there's like this bamboo kind of low screened, it's like screening hedge that runs through. There's lots of bins everywhere as well, which is good. So you don't really see any rubbish like laying around, which is always good to see. The resort is very clean and tidy. And I must say, hats off to the gardeners. It's bloody fantastic. So this is, some of the accommodation areas. So you can literally, if you holiday here, you can stay literally in the jungle. but not too far from the beach, which is good. Oh, just so you know, all these white like bollard things, they're all lights, they're all down lights. They look a bit like little sculptures. You can see the base of the palm tree and just how big they are. I think Punta Cana is very much known for its coconut palm beaches, white sand, and in fact the original Bounty advert, which I can't remember when that was filmed, but it was filmed actually very near here. So that kind of idyllic white sand is around everywhere. You see more island beds through here. It's amazing specimens wherever you look. But don't forget, guys, although, you know, this is a tropical area around here, we have obviously got very particular palm trees that only grow in the tropics. We do have equivalents back home that look fairly similar, and we can use those to give this kind of look. But obviously, our palms need to be able to take a lot lower temperatures. Bearing in mind here, it probably doesn't go below about 20 degrees Celsius. So we're heading down towards the beach now. Just following the path. I'll show you the pool in a minute. Lots of seating areas throughout the hotel. There's a good view of the pool. You can see the coconut palms are everywhere. And down in this section, you'll see in the middle of the frame there's an agave americanas, grey-blue foliage, which pops against the there's quite a lot around here. I think they look great, actually. I know we can grow these in the UK, but we have to protect them from too much damp. You can see these are on island beds, nice and raised up. Actually, the white really helps make the foliage stand out. So this is where basically the main pool is at the resort, and the kind of pool area, there's another pool area down here, and that leads out to the main beach. So again, I'll head down this area. Bye. Hola, bicho! So here we are. We're now on the beach. A little sign here, but all about relaxation and everything. This is this white sand that I was on about. We'll just go out to sea a little bit. So you can see the roots of the palm trees here. So obviously the coconut palm doesn't mind being near salt water, which is a good thing. And here we are. So this is out on the beach. So you've made it to the end of the video. So here is the beach in the Caribbean. So you can kind of try and zoom in on them, but over there in the background there is these birds flying around that look like pterodactyls. Spitting with rain a little bit at the moment. So yeah, if we look back towards the resort, here you can see all the palm trees and everything. So you've got silhouetted against the sun, which is fantastic, and the sky, which is very dynamic at the moment. As I say, the weather changes a lot here. And I'll just show you that towards the pool area. Going on this little journey. You remember when I was doing my garden at home and I used sand around the base of my palm trees. So this is kind of mimicking this style, really. I'll just finish the video at the pool area, because the pool is huge here. So here we go. So the pool has got loads of different zones. It's actually massive, and there's loads of areas that there's shallow areas where they do various things in the pool, like water aerobics and things like that. And you know, even next to the pool area, you've got various planted borders, which again, it just softens the whole look. And the amazing root systems of the palm trees. This is quite nice as a variegated foliage. Looks a little bit like, I think it's the Akuba that we have in the UK. So yeah, it looks a little bit like that. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the long video. It's probably one of my longest, but it is basically a walk with me in paradise in the tropics. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.